So a little over 3 years ago, I did something that I was very nervous about. This is something I put a lot of thought into and that I finally decided to pull the trigger on. This was to quit my CPA job at one of the largest accounting firms in the world to start my own business. Well, I guess I already had a business at the time, but I quit my job to go full-time in my own business, which is, of course, a combination of content creation and CPA work. So March 15, 2018, that was the last day I walked in and out of 725 South Figueroa Street in downtown Los Angeles. If you've been down there in the financial district, this is the building with the bronze statue of the suited businessman sticking his head into the building. That's basically what I felt like every day. I do want to share my entrepreneurial journey in future videos, but for now, in this video, I want to talk about 10 things you should do, or at least consider doing, before quitting your job. I personally did most of these things. Some didn't apply to me necessarily, but in this video, I'm going to share with you 10 things you should at least think about before quitting your job. So let's get started. Number 1, determine the amount of your last paycheck. You should independently calculate how much you expect your final paycheck to be. And once you get the last paycheck, if you look at it and there are discrepancies, discuss these with your employer. Keep in mind that the amount of your final paycheck will obviously include your final wages, but might also include items such as accrued vacation hours payout, reimbursements, things like that. Remember that your company's payroll department, it makes mistakes, right? Just like anyone else, and it's best to double check your final paycheck or else you may miss out on some money that's rightfully yours. Don't think payroll departments are perfect. I personally worked at a Big Four accounting firm, and their payroll department screwed up my last paycheck in that they didn't pay me my last paycheck. I eventually got it over a year later. They had to pay me lots of penalties for waiting over a year to give me my final paycheck. So make sure that you independently calculate how much you should be expecting in your last paycheck. Make sure you get the full amount. Number 2, submit any outstanding reimbursements. Depending on what state you live in, you could probably still obtain reimbursements for legitimate business expenses you incurred during your employment after you quit, but why wait? Right? You'll get the cash quicker with less hassle if you submit any outstanding reimbursements to your company before you quit. Number 3, if you had health insurance through your employer, determine when your insurance expires after you quit and look into COBRA insurance if necessary. So obviously, if you obtained health insurance through your employer's group plan, you'll need to think about what coverage will look like after you quit. Make sure you confirm through what date you will be covered through this plan. Depending on your state and perhaps your individual company policy, your health insurance coverage may end on your last day of employment or it may continue through the end of the month. In any event, your employer-sponsored coverage will cease at some point, and you need to figure out what to do next. If you'll be starting a new job with a company that offers health insurance, keep in mind that many companies have a probationary period during which you are not eligible for benefits, and you'll have to figure out what to do coverage-wise in the interim. You could, of course, purchase health insurance through your state's exchange. Obviously, losing employer-sponsored coverage is a qualifying event, but one option is, of course, to let COBRA continuation coverage. This option allows you to remain on your employer's group insurance plan for up to 18 months, possibly depending on your state, but you will pay for all of it out of your own pocket since you're no longer working for your employer. Whatever you do, make sure you have all the facts in front of you before making this decision. Make sure you know when your current coverage ends, how much COBRA would cost you, how much insurance through your state's exchange would cost you, when your health insurance at your new employer is going to kick in, etc. Number 4, review your retirement plan and rollover options. If you have an employer-sponsored retirement plan or plans, make sure you understand your options with respect to these accounts. If you have a defined benefit pension plan like I did at my old employer, in addition to a 401k, it may make sense for you to simply wait to collect monthly payments, right, when you reach retirement age. It may also make sense for you to take a cash lump sum amount out and roll it into an IRA. There's no one-size-fits-all answer here. The considerations here probably require a standalone video, but this is something you should think about. And if you have a relatively large balance, right, potentially speak to a qualified financial advisor about. Similar thing if you have a 401k plan. Take a look at your plan's fees and investment options. If you feel that the fees are too high, investment options too limited, consider rolling your 401k plan into an IRA. This may have some tax implications as well, probably require a dedicated video in the future. Number 5, get your file from HR. Before quitting, you should get your complete file from your company's human resources department, including your performance reviews, offer letter, employment contract, and salary and wage information. You never know when you might need these documents in the future. Perhaps if a dispute arises between you and your former company, or future employers want to see samples of stellar performance reviews, and it's often easier to obtain this information before you quit than after. Number 6, remove all personal files from your work computer. This probably goes without saying, but you should make sure that you remove any personal files, documents, photos, emails, personal videos, whatever, from your work computer before turning it into your company's IT department. Probably the easiest thing to do is just buy a little, thumb drive, flash drive, transfer all your personal files onto it. This can take a surprising amount of time to transfer that data, especially if you haven't been great about keeping all of your personal files in one central location on your work computer, so don't wait until the last minute to do this. Number 7, if you have stock options, double check your vesting period. If you're lucky enough to have been awarded stock options as part of your compensation package, be sure you understand the terms of these awards before you quit your job. You may be required to remain with the company for a certain period of time before leaving in order to ultimately receive these stock options. Number 8, deal with your accrued vacation time strategically. If you have accrued vacation time, PTO, whatever they call it at your company, make sure you understand what happens to it if you don't use it up before you leave. In some states, you simply lose your vacation time if you quit. In this case, it's probably a wise decision for you to simply use up your accrued vacation time before you leave the company. In other states, however, your employer may be obligated to pay you out for any unused vacation time upon the termination of your employment. In this case, it may make more sense for you to not take the vacation time and simply get it paid out. Note, though, that there may be reasons for you to use the vacation hours rather than getting paid out, such as if lengthening the time of your employment will result in some increased economic benefit for you, such as vesting of stock options or an increased pension payout. Maybe there's the health insurance implication I talked about earlier. So you might want to do your research first before making a decision one way or the other. Number 9, drain your FSA. Typically, if you leave a company, you will lose the unused amount you have contributed to your flexible spending account or FSA. So it's advisable that you spend the money in this account on eligible items before quitting. You can check out Amazon's FSA store if you like to purchase FSA eligible items from the comfort of your own home. Note that if you elect to use COBRA continuation coverage, you may still be eligible for FSA reimbursements during the time of your COBRA coverage. Of course, check with your employer. Finally, number 10, don't forget about your bonus. Unlike your salary and wages, your bonus is typically discretionary, meaning that you aren't entitled to it, but your employer may still give you one nevertheless. Your employers often have policies in place that require you to be employed on the date a bonus is paid out company-wide in order for you to receive it. So if you're expecting a bonus, then before you quit, make sure your bonus is sitting in your bank account rather than crossing your fingers, hoping that your employer will pay it out before you quit. All right, folks, those are 10 things to do or at least think about before quitting your job. Do you have any insights on this topic? Do you have any tips for others who might be contemplating a career or employer change? Let me know in the comments below, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.